Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to today's unseen video. This is where we round up all the big talking points from social media. We're going to start with the WWE folder. So Shaquem, thank you. WWE's deal with X has reportedly come to an end, which is why Speed was scrapped. That coming from Wrestling Observer newsletter. I don't think it's the biggest surprise in the world. I think we kind of knew that that's why it had been scrapped, but good to get it confirmed. Wrestling's biggest fan, thank you. So here we've just got a bit of news about something that the AAA talent are a bit concerned about. So apparently Nick Khan spoke to the AAA talent and basically said, look, we're not here to kind of interfere. We just want to make this more financially viable for everyone involved. Like, we want to make money out of it. We want you to make money out of it. And obviously that's good, and the roster's on board with that. But these new contracts that they're being given, it means they can't work certain indie shows in America. And apparently these indie shows pay quite well. So the contracts allow them to work the indie shows and live events in Mexico, but there's certain shows in the United States they're just not allowed to work anymore. No detail as to what those shows are. I mean, we're not talking AEW, but of course AEW would be included. But yeah, it's certain indie promotions. Don't know why. Not sure why. No detail on that, but apparently that is causing a bit of concern amongst the AAA roster because some of those promotions were quite financially beneficial, right? So I thought that was interesting. We haven't really had any detail on that level before when it's come to AAA. Tribal Chief, thank you. Not sure how much we can trust this now. Obviously, it was interesting before Smackdown, but I'm not sure now. So, Wrestling Observer newsletter are just saying that Clash in Paris is set to have 7 matches. Cody Drew is going to be added. Becky, Nikki is going to be added. But so is Solo Sammy. And that's obviously interesting because Solo Sammy just got announced on this week's Smackdown for next week's Smackdown. So I don't think, unless there's going to be a screwy finish, I don't think that's being added to the Clash in Paris card. So this looks wrong. This looks incorrect. Now, of course, it could be bad information. It could be that plans have changed. Could be that Wrestling Observer's just completely made it up, right? But we're going to have to see if it does kind of result in that. But at the moment, that match is happening on next week's SmackDown, so don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. It might be that Clash in Paris is no longer having 7 matches. It could have 6. Yeah, the Bruiserweight, you can't really see this, to be honest. So I'm not going to bother playing it. You can just sort of see him standing in that kind of entranceway. And it's just Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight was at a Riot Cabaret. The clip's only a few seconds long anyway. So there we go. Imagine if you got a ticket to that show, though. I mean, there's no way you would have been expecting to have seen Pete Dunne, the Bruiserweight. So quite a surprise there for those that were in attendance. So Shaquem, thank you. This is interesting. So here we've got news that internally, WWE believe that the ESPN are interested in the entire video library of WWE. So it's expected that that is where the video library is going to go. And where this gets really interesting is they don't just want the stuff on Peacock. They want everything. They want the stuff that's on WWE Vault, the YouTube channel. Like, they want to be the home of everything WWE. I find this really exciting because if anyone at ESPN could reach out and say, we want everything, right? I mean, I think there's just thousands of hours of shows we have not seen in years and years and years. I mean, like, there's whole 60s and 70s content, like, just so much of it that was missing on the WWE network. I don't think we had every episode of Primetime Wrestling. We didn't have, I don't think, anything of All American Wrestling. I don't think we had much of Superstars. I think more did get added of Superstars to Peacock, but I think there's still a hell of a lot missing. I think we've got all the Raws and all the Smackdowns, so I think that's okay. I think we've got all the premium live events, but things like WWF Mania, just like that, man, WWE have done so many shows throughout the years, and there's a lot of them that are missing. So, man, if ESPN, if they actually get, like, everything that WWE have got, that would be insane. And you also might never see me again, as I just, like, get lost in a world of old wrestling. awesome. And then Fightful just putting this up 3 hours ago. WWE have announced a house show, a live event in Melbourne on Wednesday, the 15th of October. Super Show, Australia. So not one that's going to make it to TV, but, you know, should be fun for those in the area, of course. Right, a couple of bits here from Smackdown. We obviously started to do our Talking Points video series now, so it means that my thoughts and a lot of the stuff that would normally be in a Smackdown folder, they go out a lot quicker now. So hopefully you've seen that video and enjoyed that video, but we do still have a few bits for Smackdown regarding Smackdown. So Evan, that was actually at the show, said the Dublin dart matches were Sheamus against Kit Wilson, that was before the show. Roxanne and Raquel versus Lyra and Iyo, that was after the show. Dominic against Jacob Fatu, that was also after the show. And it was advertised that we were going to get Dominic versus AJ, but this was changed. The Dublin crowd was awesome, and now I'm off to Paris next week. So, Evan, have a great time, bud. The gamer Kian sent this in. This is a clip of Sheamus as he comes out. And I believe he was a bit of a mystery opponent. People were waiting to find out who was going to get in the ring, right? They didn't know who was going to take on Kit Wilson. And obviously Sheamus is Irish and we're in Ireland. So you can sort of get the idea of how big this reaction was, right? So let's check it out.
I don't like it. Wait, moving on again.
Oh no.
There we go. So Sheamus, big reaction from the live crowd and from Kian by the sounds of it as well. So excellent. They were brilliant all night, that crowd. So good. Right, this is crazy. So Jake Reigns Hive. WWE actually had to reshoot the Logan John Cena ending. Logan's first punch barely connected, so they went back and cleaned it up to make it look crisp. It is a new version, so this is wild. I've actually put this out as a little reaction clip thing. And what's funny is that I did 2 Smackdown streams, one for Europe when it aired live in Europe, and then the other one later when it aired in America. But the thing was, for both of those streams, I was watching Netflix, so I saw this version twice. Right? I never saw this version. I never knew that it had been reshot. This, I believe, is what you got in America. This is what we got on Netflix. And you'll see why they changed it, right? So here you can see, you'll see Logan in a second coming into the frame. Bang! So if we just jump back a little bit, look, you can see he really misses with that shot. I mean, when I first saw it, I actually thought it looked pretty good. And the reason why is because, obviously, I was not expecting Logan. I mean, I was paying attention to Nick Aldis, and I was certainly not looking, like, here. I was looking here. I was looking at Nick Aldis, and I was not expecting Logan. So when Logan comes in and throws, I'm not staring at the punch. I actually thought it had looked pretty good. But it's only now that you can kind of look here and look and know the punch is coming that you go, yeah, I see why they've cleaned that. I see why they were not happy with it, right? So this is the new version down here, completely different version. You can see here Logan comes from the side, whereas down here, Logan comes from behind. It's so weird seeing the same scene redone, but in a slightly different way. Get out the way, boom, and Cena goes down. And there we go, Logan walks away. It's crazy, that, isn't it? That is crazy. I mean, if Unseen was made for anything, it was made for this. This moment right here. This is where we shine. I probably should have opened the show with this. This is where we shine. So, a brilliant spot. Absolutely brilliant. Not one that I ever would have spotted because I would never have known about it, to be honest. The Netflix version just shows this one. So, there we go. Right, yeah. So the crowd were singing. Oh, wow, let's... If you be my girl. Hey. I mean, it's not the most enthusiastic version, but they've switched out Bayley and they've put in Lyra. So it's, hey, Lyra, I want to know, are you going to be my girl? And Bayley's like, Dublin, what is this? Bayley is not thrilled that her song is now using someone else's name. That's going to be really interesting. I'd love for that to catch on. Imagine now if people start passionately singing that song, but only they've took Bayley out, they've put Lyra in instead. That would be great. I mean, Bayley wouldn't think so, but that would be great. So, Real John, thank you. Yeah, so here WWE says Carmelo and Mike are not on the same page. Carmelo said neither was the crowd, crying face. The reason for that, right, is because he is up here about to do a really cool move, right, about to do something really, like, great. Miz gets in and kind of just tags himself in. The crowd cheered. The crowd cheered. The crowd were happy that the Miz just tagged himself in, stopping Carmelo from doing something really cool, some 450 splash or something like that. I think Carmelo's like, I don't think the crowd were quite on the same page. Really, you should want to see him do a really cool move. You should really boo the Miz, who's clearly not about to do a cool move. But the crowd were like really cheering when the Miz tagged in. So there we go. No one, not the crowd, not Carmelo, not the Miz, not the referee. No one was on the same page here, right? Right, these two are on the same page, though. Iyo says, thank you, Dublin. Thank you, Lyra. I love Ireland. So there is Iyo kind of doing Lyra's pose. Kind of. I mean, is it something like that? I don't know. I actually don't know how it goes, but I don't think it's that. It looks like she's being held hostage. And then over here we've got, yeah, the classic, the Iyo. So very, very good. So those two obviously teaming together in the dart match. Here's Fightful. The many faces of Randy Orton. There we go. And those noises that are just generated, that is definitely the correct noises. So there we go. The many faces in a very short space of time. The many faces of Randy Orton. So that coming from Fightful. Very good. John Cena cooked Logan Paul. And I just wanted to pull this line out because he did cook him. And I think we were all recovering from some of the lines that we had heard. But this is how it finished. And I don't know if this is not maybe indicating where we're going or what we're trying to get out of this, right? At Clash in Paris, you will either, so this is what's going to happen, right? You will either understand what it means to give up yourself to this business I love. What does that mean? How is Logan going to understand how to give up himself to the business that John Cena loves? How is Logan going to give up himself to pro wrestling? What is this that we're doing, right? This feels a little bit like character development, you know? It feels a little bit like Logan's going to have to do something at Clash. I don't understand. Or I'm going to beat the ever-living shiz out of you, right? Now, it could be that one, to be honest. It might be that we end up getting that, right? But I just thought this was a really interesting line, because what does John mean by that? At Clash in Paris, you are either going to give yourself up to the business I love. Does that mean turn face? Like, stop thinking of yourself. Think more about the business. Think more about others. Think more about the fans. You're either going to give up yourself to the business I love, or I'm going to beat the ever-living shiz out of you. I don't know. I just don't know. It might have just been a fun line just to end the promo, and maybe I'm just looking into it too much. But he did absolutely destroy Logan. He destroyed him. He kind of pointed out all the things that we would say about Logan, all the frustrations we have with Logan. They have been put on the table. So I don't think it's unfair to say, well, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Where does this go from here? So I thought that was a very interesting final line. Might mean nothing, but just worth pulling out and going, what do you think? And Triple H said, you never know who you'll meet in Dublin on a Friday night. It was great to welcome Commissioner Brett Yormark and CBBO, Tyrell Kirkham to Smackdown. An exciting Saturday for the Big 12 tomorrow. The world will watch K-State against Cyclone live from Showmore. So there we go. I mean, this means nothing to me. Literally nothing. I only included it because there might be one person out there that gets excited by these pictures. And honestly, that's good enough for me. If I can excite just one person, that's good enough for me. I take that as a dub. So that's why I included that. Okay, let's go over to other, shall we? See what we've got in here. Not loads. Luke Gallows was talking about Bray and Roman. He said, I remember saying to Bray and Roman, I commend you guys for taking care of the locker room. One of the reasons I didn't want to come back to WWE was because the locker room had always sucked previously. It was some of the old guards. They just didn't like the young guys. There were all these rules and they were being really off with each other. But this was a group of guys that were buddies. It was like being on a football team that was making a comeback. Everyone liked each other. So there we go. That's really interesting. Luke Gallows kind of painting a picture that the locker room wasn't a fun place to be back in the day. But actually under Bray and Roman, it was much healthier. Shakeem, thank you. So here, The Rock is reportedly a big fan of Danhausen. And additionally, a number of people backstage in WWE like the gimmick. So there we go. Danhausen has got some respect in WWE from a high place as well. So there we go. The Rock is apparently a fan. It's like, what the hell did this picture mean? We never actually found out, did we? I mean, he was wearing a New Japan shirt looking at a Rubik's Cube. So, and he was thinking, and we were like, what does this mean? I mean, perhaps it actually had nothing to do with wrestling. Perhaps that was just a shirt he would just happen to be wearing anyway, but I doubt it. I mean, could it be that at this time they were thinking of getting AAA? You know, is it that it was connected to the AAA purchase? Don't know. I haven't thought about this picture in ages. I'm thinking about it now. I'm also thinking about this, not Playboy, but I am thinking of Playboy. Here, stepping in for... Guys, this is heartbreaking. Do you remember yesterday we said it's everyone's dream to be the Grand Marshal for the Coke Zero Sugar 400? Ray can't make it. It was only yesterday that we were so pleased for Ray that he'd finally made it to the big time. And for some reason, something's happened. I'm going to say nerves. I mean, it would have been the highlight of Ray's career. And that's it. It's not happening now. So stepping in for Rey Mysterio, we're excited to welcome Kevin Owens as the Grand Marshal. So there we go. Kevin Owens is stepping in. And so he is going to be the Grand Marshal of the Coke Zero Sugar 400. Listen, when opportunity knocks, you've got to take your chances. And I'm afraid Rey Mysterio fumbled. Right, Bayley cried a lot today. Fly music, thank you. I hope there are sisters or best friends out there like Sasha and Bayley. I think the reason for this is because hashtag 10 years since Brooklyn. So I don't really cover anniversaries or birthdays in Unseen because that every single flipping episode would be flooded. There's always every day some sort of anniversary. There's always some wrestler that's got a birthday. So we don't touch them. But because Bayley commented on this one, that's why I included it. So Bayley remembering this match, remembering the good old days, remembering her friendship, her continued friendship with Sasha. She says, I cried a lot today. So there we go. Okay, how to stream. Now, I've taken 1990, thank you. I've included this because there's a real interesting line down here, which I just want to bring to people's attention, right? And the reason why I want to do that is because it's a little bit concerning. So, let's go down. I think we need to go a little further. Okay, according to Netflix, you can't use a VPN whilst watching a live event on Netflix or with an ad-supported experience. Users who do might get the error code E106. You seem to be using a VPN or proxy. Please turn it off and try these services again. So there we go. I mean, I think this is worth mentioning. If your plan to get around the ESPN price is that you're going to use Oreos? What's a night twist? What the hell's this? I don't even know if this is available in the UK. We're not sponsored by this. I mean, this is horrific for me because I've got an advert and I'm not even getting paid. But what's a night twist? Is it just a normal Oreo, but like they're trying to encourage you to like open it up at night or something? Don't know. Forget that. Forget that. An Oreo, you better pay me for that. You better pay me for that, yeah. But anyway, VPN, apparently it doesn't work on live events and ad-supported experiences. So I'm just giving you a heads up, yeah? Just giving you a heads up. Right. Oh, look at this. Look at this. So here, Vince McMahon was spotted having lunch with Bruce Pritchard and JBL. So there was Vince getting in the car, and apparently he's got like a new hairstyle. Slightly new hairstyle. So there he is. Well, we've got some what look to be highlights at the front, haven't we? I don't know where he's just emerged from. I mean, it does look pretty fancy. So there we go, Vince in the vehicle, and then a little bit later, I think the vehicle goes, and then there's Bruce. There's Bruce, and that's JBL, and I think that's Briscoe, isn't it? You don't quite get a good look, but I think that's Briscoe. I think that's Gerald Briscoe. Yeah, it looks like Gerald Briscoe to me. So there we go. I mean, I don't know what they were talking about, of course. But just emerging from there, there's Vince, Bruce, JBL. What are they plotting, eh? What are they plotting? Right, it's Wepper time. Oh my God, Tiffany's going to be upset. What if she says, what time is it? And we all shout, it's Wepper time. And she's like, what? So there we go. It's a bit wild, that, isn't it? Because that Wepper there is right on the neckline. You don't normally see that. I mean, your head would just be here, just above the E. So it's like the pattern is like too big for the shirt, but obviously done that way on purpose. But I don't know what Wepper means. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it doesn't mean dong. So there we go. That was the Let's Go fun, shall we? Look at these. Ultimate Warrior as Blanca. The Rock as Bison, is it? The Rock final boss as maybe Bison. So, yeah, new WWE Street Fighter crossover figures on the way. And look at the boxes they come in. They look like arcade cabinets. Oh, my God. How amazing is that? Everyone is going to want to get these. Oh, that's not true. What I've just said is a lie. But I want to get these. So, yeah, they look so good. Street Fighter, WWE will have variant packages. So, look at that. So good. Right, Thomas, thank you. Yeah, this is weird. So here, look. Okay, I don't know if this is like a bit kinky, but he sort of like lovingly gives her a slap, and then she opens her mouth and he gives her cake. But she's sort of new to open her mouth. So, bang, look there. She opens her mouth. She gets a mouthful of cake. Don't know how I feel about this. Don't love it. But okay. And then, of course, here we go. So they give it a go. Yeah, look up. Here we go. Little slap. Boom. But here's a cookie. There's a cookie, right? And then as soon as she realizes what's happening, she goes after him. Jordan Grace is like, thank you for the cookie. But as soon as she you can tell there's a moment where she's got the cookie in her mouth and she's like trying to process what the hell has just happened. What? Cookie? I'll eat that. But you get back here first. Yeah. So there we go. And then look, she's still got the cookie, right? Priorities. It's weird, this, is it? God, some of the stuff that goes on Instagram and TikTok is weird. But to be honest, I was excited to see how this was going to go. Right? Stunned. How dare you? Lovely cookie. The thing is, as well, he tries to, like, he misses the mouth. So he kind of, like, hits the top lip with the cookie. Look up. Slap. Little slap. Completely misses the mouth. I find that quite entertaining, right? I find it quite entertaining. I also find it quite disturbing. I'm just feeling a range of emotions about it, to be honest. So there we go. You can't play like that, says Jordan Grace. Okay, WWE Facebook page made a mistake. So WWE Raw Clash in Paris tomorrow. What? Tomorrow. Clash in Paris tomorrow. So, Living Uzi, thank you. I thought this card was someone else at first. So, Fly Music, thank you.
Boom. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. A 9 of 25 signed Chad Gable. It looks very similar to a Grande Americano. Grande Americano is actually much taller.
There we go. So, yeah, he did think at first that was Grande, but then he remembered, actually, no, Grande's got a lot taller recently. So, yeah, thought this card was someone else at first, says Triple H. I can't believe they're still doing this. I feel like they've been doing this since, like, WrestleMania. These two, like, meet up and just open packs of cards in each other's company. I mean, I love that for them. It's good to have friends. It's good to have hobbies. But you would think he would be a bit busier than this. Maybe this explains why Raw has been a bit flat in 2025. He's busy opening cards with Sam Roberts rather than writing good Raws. Edward, shout out to you. This is from Stephanie Velcro. So I didn't tell you before because you were surely overwhelmed with emotions, but I want to congratulate you and Jimmy on the future superstar that's on the way. Someday I'll tell your baby how they helped you escape from me and prevented Stephanie Velcro from winning the title in Paris. She loves that. Enjoy this new chapter. I know you're going to be a great mom, Chiquita. I'm already ready for Paris, and I'll be here waiting for you whenever you decide to come back. So there we go. Some lovely words there, actually, by Stephanie. I love the fact she put in the Velcro thing. Very, very good. Very good. Oh, yeah, WYATTS. Let's go on down to Wyatt Town. So from Inside Out Orlando, Wyatt 6, HHN House. So White Rabbit Cinema, thank you. So there, look, we can just see a little glimpse of the rocking chair with the lantern. You can see kind of the wall in the background, the sort of vibe that you would expect. That's inside, I think, the Orlando one. And then there as well, we just got a sign inside. So not loads to kind of get your teeth into, but, well, it's better than nothing, I suppose. It's just a tease. There's some of the merch. So it's just there's so much stuff going on at Orlando. They go so big for this. But then you Americans flipping love Halloween, don't you? You go crazy. You go crazy. Whereas, like, Halloween to me is like, do you know what I mean? Just try and hide from any trick-or-treaters. So here we've got some things. And then here, we did cover this before, but it is worth mentioning for those that didn't see before. So Metal Mama, thank you. Fans brave enough to travel via lantern light will transport themselves into the maniacal minds of the Wyatt Six. Horror fans will feel the frightening fun as Uncle Howdy, together with Ramblin' Rabbit, Mercy the Buzzard, Abby the Witch, Huskus the Pig, will be waiting to take nasty revenge on a world that has abandoned them. Along the way, guests will be stalked by the eerie presence of the Fiend, Bray's sadistic alter ego, who looms within the shadows and beckons them to let him in. So, Metal Mama, thank you. That is the latest on the Wyatt's houses. Okay, I think, is it just community and thanks? I think so. I'm just trying to make sure I've not forgot anything. So Carl, 2 out of 3G, said, I know you like Unseen merch. They were selling these Cody shirts in Irish colours, only available at the show tonight. So there we go. Very nice. Dublin with the Cody logo and the Irish flag on. I do like that, Carl. Thank you, my friends. Very good. Disciple of Cross said, I am home and this was waiting for me. The Cross, Karrion Kross shirt, turning pain into art. I know that some probably roll their eyes when I thank Karrion for the motivation and inspiration. He is a real hero in my eyes. I am forever grateful to be a good soldier. For that, I am turning my pain into art. Well, I certainly don't think real wrestling fans would roll their eyes, to be honest. I think all of us have been inspired by wrestling and wrestlers at various times in our lives. It's one of the things that kind of hooks us, you know. So, no, awesome. I love that. Brilliant. So, Disciple Across, thank you. And here is Carl again, 2 out of 3G. There, look, you can see the hard cam from tonight's Smackdown. So you can see the hard cam right there on this, like, scaffolding. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Seeing the hard cam there. Not much of a crowd on this side, of course. But there it is on some scaffolding. Just looks weird, doesn't it? If you think that that's what they were cutting promos to. That's what Becky was talking to, and Cena and Logan, and that's the camera that was, filming, and the world was watching through that, It's just weird, isn't it? You really don't see this side very often. Looking towards the hard cam, there it is, right there. That's it. If you're a WWE superstar standing in that ring, that is the camera that you've got to pour your heart out to. All your emotion has got to be given to this. That is what you are a slave to. Or your best wrestling, or your best selling, or your best charisma and presentation and emotion and heart and desire. That little box there, it wants it all. It wants all of it. And just when you've given as much as you can give, it wants even more. It will never stop wanting. Yeah, it will never stop wanting. You could never give that enough. You could cry till your eyes fell out, and that would want you to cry more. Yeah. At least that's how I would think of it, right? If I was looking at that, that's what I would think. Yeah. So there we go. Right, let's go. Thanks. Let's get out of here. So, Elite Pro Wrestling Forum, Huddle Talk, Mr. T1000, Edward, Kelly the Wise Lady, Nails and NY, Wrestling's Biggest Fan, Raymond, Sweet Chim Wrestling, Claire Webb, Disciple of Cross, I Am the Colour Red, Silverback, Michael Neville, Metal Mama, He Who Smiles, and Duquette. Thank you, my friends. Appreciate the support. I appreciate all of you for joining us. And hopefully, I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.